Welcome to the pod. You're listening to What the Reality with me, Cassia Roberts, and we are back with another Toxic Tuesday episode. From West Wilson getting the boot at Summer House, he is not returning, to our dear Milania Giudice being arrested, to some very much needed Real Housewives of Atlanta and a Real Housewives of Rhode Island ultimate season finale. I'm also getting into Love Island. Welcome to the pod. You're listening to What the Reality with me, Cassia Roberts. We're back with another Toxic Tuesday episode, y'all. It is toxic. I have not uploaded a video format in like 2 weeks because I am looking, I like to say like, not ugly, but if you guys have watched She's the Man, when she's like ugly, that's literally what it's given right now. Because yeah, I get my braids done in like 2 weeks and maybe I'll start uploading video format. My next one I definitely will, but right now like I'm trying this new hairstyle. I don't know how the heck I'm gonna go in even to work tomorrow with this hairstyle. Like, people are saying it's not bad, but it's like, guys, I've been doing slick backs for ever, and I've just really have had a lack of density in my hair. So I'm doing these mini twists. This is what the girls are doing. I'm not, obviously you're not gonna like the first time you do the mini twist. Like, I don't like them. It's not me. But my hair has never been more moisturized. Like, my ends are so moisturized, but guys, I look like a little girl. Like, I look literally like a little girl. All I need are like little barrettes and like, what were they called, bobos. But yeah, if you guys are typically used to like watching me on YouTube, sorry. Next episode, I will upload my video format. And it's not even like I don't have my video formats. It's just like, I'm not going to choose to upload this on YouTube. I don't really care. But yeah, so if you're used to like watch me on video format, sorry about that. You can still watch me on YouTube. It'll just be the good looking cover, honestly. Other than that, I always say, like, what isn't there to talk about? I feel like that's like my new intro. There's been so much TV out there and everything. First, we got to get obviously into the reality topics. How are you guys? I bet some of you are better than Milania Giudice. I know that was shady. It was shady. Wait, I want to make sure my mic's working. Okay, my mic's on. Yeah, I bet a lot of people are better than Milania Giudice because little girl was literally arrested. Was not expecting this. This is a story that came in over the weekend from TMZ. Yeah. I don't... Okay, so Milania apparently was arrested May 14th. So this is just hitting the blogs now. So obviously the family kept that under the wraps really well. But apparently she was arrested on May 14th in New Jersey and charged with purposely or knowingly causing bodily injury, a disorderly conduct offense under New Jersey law. The records do not identify the alleged victim or provide details about what led to the charge. Oh, excuse me, I almost like burped. Apparently there's online chatter that her sisters are the one, that a sister was the one that called the cops on her. People don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. That's all I have. I'm keeping my ears to the streets to give you further updates. However, she has kind of addressed this on her Instagram. On an Instagram story, she posted this cryptic post. She said, "None of us sit high enough to look down on anybody. Be humble." I genuinely totally resonate with that quote. I don't think anyone should be looking down on her or anything. So I don't know. We don't know what happened. All we know is this happened in May. It's just hitting the blogs now. And what we do know, it apparently from Twitter, they're saying a sister called the cops. It had to have been bad for your sister to literally call the cops on you, is all I'm saying. Like, it'd take a lot for me to call the cops on one of my siblings, like, for disorderly conduct. Like, normally you can, like, control your family, control it. Like, normally you can talk to them. Like, there's just especially there's a certain sibling energy. So for the cops to be called, and apparently it was one of her siblings, her sisters. You know how close they all are. I wonder which sister it was. We don't know who the victim was. I don't know, was it like her boyfriend that was staying there? Like, did she find out he was cheating? Like, I don't know. One thing I will say is she is just like her mama. Moving on to some other reality topics. This honestly just came in today. I was waiting for it because, as you know, Summer House does film 4th of July weekend. Like, that's the comeback weekend, or it's like the weekend before then. Summer House, the cast is going to look different, and it's just coming in that Wes Wilson is not returning after the Amanda drama romance. I don't know if he thought he was going to return. I don't know if that was ever on the table. Obviously, he was comparing, there were alleged conversations prior that he said, I mean, I'm going to be like famous after this. Tom Sandoval went on to be on The Traitors, and he's fine. Obviously, the situation is completely different because Tom Sandoval was able to come back on VPR. I don't know if Sierra's coming back to Summer House because, guys, remember, she's going to be on Dancing with the Stars. I don't know when Dancing with the Stars premieres. Why do I feel like it's like fall time? So if anything, we do know right now, at least for the next 6 weeks, she's going to be in Fiji. And unless she really has a pressing matter, I'm pretty sure she had to wrap up everything. She's in Fiji right now hosting the Love Island After Sun. 6 weeks from now is definitely well into 4th of July. So I don't even know if Sierra is going to be filming for Summer House. I don't know if she's returning back. What I could have definitely seen was one more season out of her. It was definitely giving Sierra or Amanda and Wes. I don't see how they can all be in the same house. I don't see how Amanda will be in the same house, especially if they want Sierra back. Or I don't see how Sierra willingly will want to come back. I could definitely see Sierra being like, you know what, guys, I'm good. I got so much other stuff going on. This is going to be a true shakeup this season. Who knows who's going to be on Summer House? All I do know, she's in Fiji right now filming for the Love Island USA After Sun. And then Dancing with the Stars, doesn't that premiere in the fall? So I'm pretty sure after she's done filming in Fiji, she's going to have to start her rigorous training for Dancing with the Stars. I'm pretty sure that premieres in the fall. Either way, she's booked and busy, and I can see her not returning to Summer House at all. So I am very curious about what's going to happen there. I'm curious if Amanda's going to get the next boot. Apparently, Wes Wilson, he was not asked back. But apparently, this is what TMZ is saying. They're saying the door is not completely closed for Wes Wilson. There's a possibility for him to pop up in a cameo. We're also hearing latest rumors that him and Amanda are already donezo. Apparently, he's been seen on dating apps again, and apparently, yeah, the relationship's just not gonna. I'm hearing the relationship's already done. While we're talking about Wes, we gotta talk about what's happening on Threads. Lindsay Hubbard woke up today on trash. Rightfully so. I'm not even like disagreeing with what's going on, but it went on Threads, and I think Lindsay's low-key upset because she's like, I didn't brought this man on here, and because he did come through onto the show through Lindsay, and I think she's like, I didn't brought this man on here, and he has been a total embarrassment, honestly. So this is what she is saying on Threads. She says, "Good morning. Hope everyone slept well last night. I know I did. Woke up with some more thoughts. If anyone cares, one, maybe Wes Wilson should go on his podcast and publicly apologize to me for using my daughter as clickbait and a decoy to distract from his secret relationship with Amanda instead of talking shit about the show he was so fortunate for me to put him on." So this is all stemming from over the weekend. Obviously, the next one, yay, congrats. Even if you're not a New Yorker, it's just like something about like New York winning, especially given everything that's going on. And then the fact that they lost the game when Trump was there. And then they've won every other game that he was not there. Like, I don't know. It's just something about even if you're not from New York, the Knicks winning is just something that's monumental, history being made, and it's just almost as if it's like, oh my gosh, all is right again in the world. Like, I don't know. Anyway, Wes went on his podcast and essentially said that he was hoping that the Knicks would lose, so they had to go to a game 6. I think they went to game 5, so that no one would watch Summer House. So this is what Lindsay is responding to. As some people are saying that's probably also why he got the boot, because he was telling people he did not want them to watch the reunion. So he was hoping that's why. He was hoping they would lose so they would have to go into another game. I think they only lost the one game Trump went to. They won literally every other game, which is why it only went to 5 games or whatever. So 2, this is what Lindsay said. Wes has tried to threaten my career show 3 times, and it's quite frankly disgusting. No other word to describe it. Lindsay's taking this to heart. She's like, you are messing with my bag. I have to provide for my daughter, period. First was when he went on a podcast after I had Gemma and told everyone there's no way I could come back to Summer House. Oh, you know what? Lindsay loves a good... She is someone you do not want to argue with, because she has a notes list in her phone. She checks it twice. She has a list and she's like, you know what? I am going to remember you doing this to me. I'm going to forgive you, but I'm going to remember you doing this to me. We should have known then he's not smart, but here we are. Then with this diabolical decision-making skills to manipulate Amanda into dating him and threaten the status of our friend group and future of the show. And now trying to get people not to watch Tuesday's episode that he participated in, by the way. So that's the kind of dude he is, in case anyone still had questions. This is what else she also said. She said, I'm on an airplane at the moment. Otherwise, I would post a video. But I say Wes manipulated Amanda because he is the one who initiated this fuckery. He is the one who said, hey, is it me, or like, do we like each other? Or whatever the fuck his hot dog smelling ass said. I was not expecting to read that. Hot dog smelling ass said is insane. Yes, Amanda is a grown-ass woman and makes her own big girl decisions. And yes, she needs to deal with those big girl consequences. You will see that combo between me and her in tomorrow's Aftermath episode. Meanwhile, Wes is still out with other girls and still talking to his other girlfriends like a true F-boy. Wow. Hot dog smelling ass said... That is hilarious. The only thing I don't agree with Lindsay on is like, and I can't talk about this Amanda West stuff like anymore. It's kind of like I've gotten fatigue. Like I've gotten fatigue from the whole Tom Sandoval, and I'm sorry. Like, what is going on outside? I'm trying to see if this is a speaker or someone's speaker, or is someone moving furniture? Okay, I don't think my mic's picking up on it. Anyway, I can't be bothered really to keep talking about the whole Amanda West thing. Lindsay keeps saying that Amanda wasn't manipulated. She wasn't. This is a grown-ass woman that knew what she was doing. She's 30. Like, can we stop with the whole manipulation thing? This is not a fragile teen. This is not a adolescent child. She wasn't manipulated. I mean, was she in a vulnerable position? And then she probably, wasn't the best at making decisions in the moment? Yes. Was she in a vulnerable position? Yes. But you cannot tell me that they hadn't been creeping around for a minute. I think Lindsay's genuinely trying to save Summer House in the city by trying to extend some sort of support or, olive branch to Amanda to be like, hey, like, you need to start saying you were manipulated. But it's like, even Sierra just had a recent quote saying, like, we can't always say, like, Amanda is this damsel in distress. Like, she's the one that's always needs uplifting. She's the one that always needs help. And it's really exhausting. It's so exhausting to watch. So besides her whole statement, the hot dog ass smelling weird thing is hilarious. But the whole manipulation thing, we have to stop saying Amanda Batula is getting manipulated. No, she's just a dumb white bitch. Like, honestly, can we just say what it is? You are a dumb bitch. Like, I don't think that has nothing to do with being manipulated. So I did want to point that out. There was something else I had to point out before I get into these other reality topics. Let me get into my other topics before I talk about this, because this is going to lead us into Atlanta. So apparently Tyra Banks is suing Netflix. Obviously, we watched the documentary. I talked about it on my pod. I talked about the first part, me watching America's Next Top Model, and then I talked about, like, obviously, like, the Netflix documentary. So here's the thing. When that first came out, a lot of people were still split. They're like, oh my gosh, I still like Tyra Banks. And then thank the Lord, Summer House happened because everything kind of like went silent for her. Like, but this was trending for like the longest. And then the Summer House scandal happened and people were like, no way. And honestly, like Tyra Banks was not off the hook, but it's like they weren't talking about, they were talking about this for months, this documentary. They were saying like she didn't take any accountability in her, doings. They were just saying like, girl. But then there were some people, me, that was like, you know what, I have no choice to still stand. Apparently, Tyra Banks is alleging that she's suing Netflix for defamation because she's saying it was a over 3-hour conversation where she was taking accountability. And that was one of the biggest things at the forefront. And she said they edited it down to basically make it look like she did not take any accountability. I don't know why she's suing them now. Like, no one is literally talking about it unless, I don't know if she just tried to get like a job or something and then just like, no, we don't like you don't take accountability, or maybe she was trying to get like a hosting gig. No one was literally talking about it. Now the folks are talking about it again. I have this article by People Magazine. Banks claims in the lawsuit that only 60 minutes of her 3.5-hour interview were used in Reality Check, America's Next Top Model, and that accountability was a major part of the conversation that wasn't featured. Okay, so let's see. She just filed this recently. So in a lawsuit filed on Saturday, June 13th, Banks claimed that her portrayal in the docuseries about her reality TV show America's Next Top Model is defamatory and was edited to support a false narrative. She's asking for a jury trial to determine the appropriate amount she should receive in damages, according to court documents obtained by People. This is a quote from the lawsuit. So Tyra Banks participated in the Netflix documentary series America's Next Top Model because she believed viewers deserved a candid conversation about the show's legacy, its successes, and its shortcomings. There are aspects of the show for which Miss Banks takes accountability, and she wanted America's Next Top Model viewers to hear that from her directly. Going into her interview, Miss Banks did not limit the America's Next Top Model topics the interviewer could ask. During a 3.5-hour interview, Miss Banks answered questions about the show's groundbreaking history, including criticism of decisions she would approach differently today. The Netflix series Reality Check, Inside America's Next Top Model, was sold to viewers as a documentary series. The lawsuit says, Netflix called it a definitive must-watch chronicle of America's Next Top Model. The genre matters. Viewers of a documentary do not expect manufactured drama or constructed narratives. They expect facts because they were promised a documentary that is exactly how viewers interacted with the Netflix series. Banks is claiming that just 60 minutes of her lengthy interview was used in a docuseries, and that the clips were stripped of context and reassembled to support a false and defamatory narrative unrelated to what she actually expressed. She says the accountability she took for some of the most controversial moments in ANTM were edited out of the docuseries. Worse, the false narrative the producers constructed through selective editing, deliberate omission, and surgical manipulation of continuous footage included that Miss Banks knowingly allowed a contestant to be sexually assaulted on her show, exploited that contestant's trauma for ratings, and then could not even remember it when asked. That narrative about Miss Banks is a complete fabrication, one that Netflix streamed to a global audience of millions. In the lawsuit, Banks calls out two partially true statements made by Moore Lushy, one of the directors and executive producers of the Netflix series. The statements are that she had an opportunity to really go deep into the debates about America's Next Top Model and to share her side of the story. In another interview, Miss Lushy said Miss Banks was ready to speak. And I think that a lot of her answers were very honest and it's all in the show, really. However, Reality Check director Lushy allegedly said the documentary would have happened with or without Banks in an interview with The Wrap. Banks did share her side. Her answers were very honest, but the story that viewers heard was the deceptive story producers chose to tell. So that is her issue with it. And she is specifically calling out the situation from season 2 with Shandy. Or was that season 1? I'm pretty sure it was season 2 with Shandy. Tyra Banks has decided to file that lawsuit suddenly. I mean, like I said, I get it. It wasn't a very favorable edit, but no one's literally talking about it, and now people have to start talking about it again. So we'll see what happens. She wants the jury to decide how much money she should be paid from Netflix. Netflix got a lot of money, so hopefully she is paid a lot. Those were the reality topics. What was I saying? So we know Dennis and Drew. We're going to talk about Atlanta. And I want to talk about Atlanta. I want to talk about Love Islands, both of them. And we're going to talk about that season finale of Rhode Island. We know Dennis and Drew. I mean, not Dennis and Drew. We know Ralph and Drew are divorced. And I was on Twitter because that's honestly where I find like all of my stuff. And I just thought this was really interesting of how he literally like posted this message on Instagram about the divorce. It was like a picture with his lawyer. I doubt he's sleeping with her, but I'm sorry guys, this photo, it's weird. It's like, is this a lawyer? You know, why you guys posted up with the Don Julio 1942? Ralph Pittman Jr. on, I was going to say on Netflix, he wishes, on Instagram. This has been one of the most challenging chapters of my life, but I'm grateful for the people God placed around me to help me walk through it with faith, strength, and grace. I'm forever grateful to my attorney. This is his attorney in the photo, guys. So look at the photo. I'm forever grateful to my attorney at Miss Precious Anderson. Thank you for believing in me, standing beside me, and guiding me through this difficult process with wisdom, dedication, and integrity. And then he adds Dennis McKinley. Thank you for connecting me with Precious. She did everything you said she would, just like she helped you get to joint physical custody. To everyone who prayed, encouraged, and supported my family, especially our children, thank you. Your grace and kindness mean more than you know. No one wins when the family feuds. My focus now is peace, healing, and continuing to show up for my children with love, strength, and consistency. Nothing matters more than being the father they need me to be. As we know, Drew did not get the house. So I just think it's interesting that it was Dennis that kind of gave him that connect. Yeah, I didn't know it was going to be Dennis that gave him the connect, honestly. So yeah, I just thought that was like, he slid that in there. Thanks, Dennis McKinley, for everything. It was just given like, damn. You know what I mean? Literally, damn. Okay. Interesting. I wonder how Drew feels about that, because isn't Dennis like her producer? That is interesting. I'm wondering if that's going to be brought up at the reunion. It probably should be brought up at the reunion. Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's just talk about what's happening in Atlanta, like honestly. So another great episode. What I really appreciated about this episode was the sisterhood, from, the ladies rallying around Angela. The anniversary of her mom's death came up, and like they say, like when you lose a parent, it's just something different. So the fact that everyone, and I even heard throughout that episode that even including Shamia, contributed in some way in making her feel special during that anniversary. I really appreciated episodes like that where it's like, okay, we can fight, we can tussle, we can throw shade, but at the end of the day, it's a sisterhood, and something like a lot of shows aren't. Like, I feel like a lot of other franchises would have been a little more catty, or like, oh, I'm not going to say anything. So it's like, it just lets us know nothing's really that deep to where you can't extend your empathy and sympathy towards someone that's going through a difficult time. And if Shamia can do it, then it's like, other people on other franchises can work their stuff out. I can't even think of an example, but I'm just saying, like, in general, I loved that happened. Besides that, the ladies really showing up for Kelly, Phaedra, and, Shamia. Despite what you people say about Shamia, right? There's some character flaws there, clearly. That is a good friend. And the fact that she's allowing Kelly to stay in her townhome I just think it shows what type of friend she is. Like, once she has your back, she has your back, which is why I'm so ready to see why her and Portia really fell out. Like, is it about the mothers? Like, let's really talk about it. Like, why have they fallen out? I don't know. Other than that, Pinky and her husband, they went to therapy. They went to couples therapy, and basically, Pinky acknowledges that it would probably be easier for her husband to just help bail her out. But I like never yawn during a show, but I'm like honestly yawning. But during this one, apparently, for this instance with the whole bankruptcy thing, Pinky really just does not want her husband to bail her out. She doesn't want him to be in financial stress, financial ruin. So she's like, hey, like, I rather handle this on my own. Thank you, though, for having it for me. Like, thank you at least for, extending that and offering that, because you don't have to, even though like people say like you're a unit, like maybe you should, and he has all this money. So it's like, why would you even want to file bankruptcy and like have that if your husband's over here like, I'll just give you this money? I think it is definitely a pride thing, an ego thing. It's definitely a independence thing. It's definitely one of those things where it's like, she even says it, he met me as a warrior and he's going to know me as a warrior. I think it's hard for her to tap into that, vulnerability side in that marriage. And I don't know what that says about their marriage. Definitely says she's a strong woman, but I don't know how much it says about your marriage or how strong your marriage is if as a woman you can't even confide in, or you can't accept the help from him. Is he the type to be like, well, remember I did that for you? Is he the type to keep score? Is that something we're missing? Like, I understand it's an independence thing completely, and the whole strong woman, we love that, but I don't know how much it says for your marriage or the fact that you're not accepting the help from your husband. And that's all I'll say on that. Hey, look, I really enjoyed Pinky. A lot of people at the beginning of the season, they were like, I don't know if Pinky's built for this show. They was coming for her fashions, her shaved head, which not everyone can rock, I keep saying. They were just like going from hearsay of how she treats her employees, how, apparently, she treated her employees awfully. What we do know is that it's been a process of her repurchasing Slutty Vegan, and what other kind of management it was under, it possibly could be well known. And maybe because she's the face of the brand, people probably thought you do your employees bad. But we do know she has recently bought her company back, which is why she's in the bankruptcy in the first place. So I'm just saying, I'm just throwing it out there. Is it quite possible that it was the management that was doing it dirty, which is why she had to buy it back, because she was getting word on certain things happening? Is it so crazy to think that Pinky's actually a good person? Because I'm seeing only strong qualities of a strong person, a strong woman, a little egotistical, but I'm not seeing this person that everyone really wanted her to be in the beginning. Like, she treats her employees bad, she doesn't pay them, she has a bad attitude, she has no friends in Atlanta. I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing this person that needed to get ridiculed just because she didn't fit the aesthetic. So, I mean, obviously we're wrapping up with the season. This season has been really good. I think we have probably like possibly 5 more episodes left. I know we have a trip coming up. The mid-season trailer already dropped. I would say we have a good 5 to 7 episodes left. 7's a stretch, we'll see. But in terms of Pinky, like, I've literally just seen someone literally grow from their experience on reality TV. And especially like with Pinky being a producer previously, I'm sure it's difficult producing these, and she was producing reality shows. I'm sure it's difficult producing these reality shows, and then now you're the person in reality. And it's like, I'm sure she knows all about that. And it's like, I gotta change. I'm not clicking with these girls. I gotta change how I am coming at these girls. And she's really changed herself. And I say that to compare that to K Michelle, who is also another newbie this season, who has someone that's genuinely let me down. I genuinely thought K Michelle would be a good fit. And I don't think she's not a good fit. I just think it's a terrible freshman season for her. She doesn't seem like herself. She constantly seems like she's always doubting herself. And that leads me to apparently her going out with Shamia and Shamia's mom, them praying in the club. I'm sorry, if anyone's mom is trying to pray in the club with me, I'm going to the bathroom. Like, I don't even want to do this right now. Like, I'm too drunk for this. I don't want to be praying in the club. Sorry. But other than that, I think it's really interesting that K. Michelle brings up to Pinky how Shamia was like, I really hope you're a good friend to me because none of my friends want me to be friends with you. And the thing is, she's not talking about the friends on the show. Shamia, and I tell you guys this constantly, no matter how you guys feel about her, you think she's corny or not, Shamia is in with a certain group of girls in Atlanta, and some of those girls include women from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, a show that K. Michelle used to be on. And her friend group includes Rashida, because Rashida is really cool with Candy Coated Nights. Rashida, Toya, that's Lil Wayne's baby mama. She's in that friend group. You know who else is in that friend group? It was her name Monica. I cannot remember her name, or Monique. She was on Atlanta. She's Candy's friend. She's light skinned and she's Neo's ex-wife or ex-girlfriend. She got kids with Neo. Who else is on there? Yandy. Shamia's cool with Yandy. I don't know how Yandy and K. Michelle are. There is a certain group of Atlanta women that I know K. Michelle does not get along with from Love and Hip Hop days. I think Mimi is cool with Rashida and them. So there's a certain friend group, and we know K. Michelle is not cool with them. And I'm pretty sure that's what Shamia was alluding to. And then obviously we have Candy, which is why K. Michelle threw that dig to Candy Coated Nights. I don't know the beef between Candy and K. Michelle, but I do think there was a dig towards Candy. So, and just like there was a dig towards Candy from Angela. I don't know. Dude, Angela got beef with Candy as well? I don't know. But we have to talk about it. There's a certain group that Shamia hangs out with that K. Michelle is not cool with. And I think it's the Rashida for sure. Rashida, Yandy, it's that certain group. They were all just on a yacht. They literally were just all on a yacht. So, even though Yandy's that is Atlanta. Yeah. So I do think it's interesting that Shamia told that to K. Michelle. And then here we go. We got K. Michelle kind of like, you know, questioning her value again. And she's like, oh my gosh, like, these girls don't like me. And like, I just see K. Michelle being overly critical of herself. And like I said, she hasn't really done much. I mean, some of her confessionals have been hilarious, but she hasn't done anything for me where I'm like, oh my gosh, I want you off the show, or oh my gosh, like, girl, toughen up. I don't know. Surely that didn't help though, saying none of my friends want to be friends with you. Like, Shamia, control it. Please control it. What else happened? I said this episode was an amazing example. Ooh, I'm waist training right now, you guys, so, which honestly is a benefit of like fixing my posture. Like, notice I have like buffalo shoulders. The things I Google, I'm like, why are my shoulders rounded if I work out and stuff? So I'm waist training right now. So I feel like a stuffed baked potato. Like, I'm like, but honestly, the waist must be getting smaller because I'm literally about to get my period. So I already feel bloaty, but also this waist trainer is not as tight as it's been prior. Like, normally when I put this one on, it's so tight. It's giving I can go down a size soon. But I'm really trying to consistently waist train, especially because my birthday is like 2 months out. And yeah, it's bikini season. I mean to always consistently waist train throughout the year, and I never get consistent about it. So I'm really trying to waist train. Other than that, I said this episode really exemplified sisterhood because, speaking of Shamia lends her townhouse to Kelly. A lot of people on social media, okay, besides that, pause. Kelly and Drew got into it on Twitter over the weekend. Kelly was making fun of the fact that Drew had to get lipo to look like Portia or whatever. And then Drew basically posted a before and after of Kelly. And yeah, Drew did get lipo. It was lipo, but it's giving BBL because Drew has never had a butt and now she got a butt. That's all I'm gonna say. Other than that, I said this episode gave sisterhood because, Shamia put Kelly up into her townhouse, one of the townhouse properties she invested in when she first got into her relationship with Gerald. Besides that, Twitter, I've been seeing the Twitter commentators, they really don't like Kelly. And I really think it's just a bunch of Porsche stands, or I think a lot of people just think Kelly's like extra loud. I quite frankly want Kelly to stay on the show. It seems like she really needs to. People are like, you have this man paying $75K for your new teeth, but he couldn't pay to put you in a house. I think that's a little different. Like, right? Aesthetic gifts is different. Obviously, when you think about building growth with someone, you do want someone to invest in you that way. But it's like, would it be a paid off townhouse, or would it be a paid off car? We learned that Kelly had to move out of her townhouse because her neighbors were booting Chloe's car. Maybe that's why Chloe was asking for a new car. And then just being nosy and harassing them. I don't know that story. I never knew she was having issues with that. On top of that, she can't film with the girls. So Kelly just seems to really be going through it. And obviously, when it rains, it pours. And it just sucks because the audience is really coming for her. And I'm like, I don't want her to get as much hate to the point where it's like, Andy's like, you're not returning. I think she's actually necessary to return. We actually need that friction within the group. We need the bigs versus the smalls, the cornies versus the funnies. You know what I mean? Like, not everything's supposed to coincide all seamlessly. And I felt like if we boot Kelly off the show, we're taking away one of Shamia's ally. Vice versa, if I feel like people are trying to get rid of Shamia, I feel like we need the tensions how they are, because it's just enough where it's like we'll get a good scene, but then it's also like when the girls need to come together to rally around each other, they will. It's nothing too deep besides the whole Shamia and Portia stuff, which they've remained very cordial with each other, right? But it's nothing too hateful where it's like you have to be on a side strongly. And it's like you got people that are able to really play on both sides, like Angela, just the whole Kelly thing. Her and Shamia cannot play on the same team. But you have someone like Cynthia that can talk to both sides. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know. And Phaedra. So I don't know. I just feel like this whole like ragging on Kelly, I will continue to say it. I don't think she needs to get all that heat. And then the people are like, get this broke stuff off of our TV. We don't want to see her being broke. But I'm like, y'all don't understand. And someone really pointed this out, and I wish I had them to refer to in the tweet. Someone said when Portia got divorced from Cordell, she had to move back in with her mama. And this is a whole housewife living in her mom's house. And Portia, I think, was like 34 at the time. Like, imagine being 34, having to live back with your mom because you get divorced. So I'm like, everyone goes through it on these shows. And the thing is like, we want to see that. So it really gets upsetting when certain fandoms, and it's like, I like Portia, but it's like, the Portia fandom is very fickle because just last season, y'all wasn't really rocking with her. We were team Shamia until it came to the reunion, and Shamia did not perform well. And now it's like, oh my gosh, we love Portia again. And I'm just like, before that, we was all saying, Portia, you're not really a good friend. Like, we kind of see that you're not a good friend. So I don't know. It's just some fandoms are definitely tiring. They're definitely tiring. Obviously, we're going to talk about Love Island because that is a fandom that is super tiring to me. But it's unfortunate. It's like, hey, she got some new teeth out of this man. Realistically speaking, would I want new teeth? No, but I've always had a perfect smile, so it's like I don't want new teeth. What would I want from a man? A paid off car, new, paid off, or give me at least like 7 months of my rent. Give me half year of rent. But that's how I move. That's the difference. You know what I mean? That's the difference when it comes to me and other folks. Regardless, I don't know. Oh my gosh, my mother's calling. She knows I'm filming. Have to decline. Other than that, we're going to talk about another example of sisterhood in this episode. We have Phaedra waiving the attorney fees for Kelly. And this is what I mean when I'm saying it's never that deep where you can't help a friend out. Obviously, we know Phaedra makes money. She gets money. And she even talks about it, like becoming a lawyer. It was never about, making money. It was always about helping people. And the fact that she can help her friend. So she's helping her through this whole like trying to get her daughters to film. And that's something we didn't know. We didn't know Phaedra's speaking about it like in a way she's been kind of through it with the whole custody, the whole filming thing. And I wonder if that's because of like the whole Apollo situation. But the way she's kind of explaining it is giving is like, oh, I've been through something like this. I'm going to help you out. Other than that, she's also going to help her with the whole custody situation. And she said, this is my gift from me to you. And I don't think she's going to charge her. She's like, those fees do get insane. It's just like another thing. It's another thing that just ends up in the gutter. That's why you do have, and I know this because I work at a law firm, it's because that's why you do have pro bono requests. These are for people that are lowly income individuals that typically cannot pay the full fees it is for all of this stuff, because it is expensive to get divorced. That's why I think a lot of people stay married, because it's expensive to get divorced. It's like, dang, you might as well leave that person you should leave that person at the altar before you even get married to them, because it is expensive to get divorced unless you got the money, right? Or a prenup, then it makes that easier. But if you don't, it's expensive and it adds up, and it's another attorney fee. So I think it was really amazing that Phaedra did that. Angela's getting some heat online right now. The fans are questioning, is she homophobic? Why do your other children not know your daughter is married to a woman? And Angela is making it seem like it married, period. And people are calling her out for homophobia. I personally don't think she's homophobic. I think it's just difficult. Her daughter got married at 23, and this person has apparently been in her life for over a decade. So it's not like she didn't know her daughter was not gay, right? And I'm going to her daughter because her daughter actually is defending her mom on Twitter. Especially because she's seeing the heat her mom's getting. I'm also going to go to Angela's page as well and read some of the tweets. But this is what Angela's daughter said. She said, my wife and I have been together for over a decade. What you're seeing is a family navigating grief, communication, and life changes. We don't always get it right, but the love has always been there. One thing, she has always supported me in my sexuality. So there you have it. She's saying right there, point blank. And the thing is like, was she I don't think she's the type, even if her mom had, I'm sure it's difficult for every parent. Like, oh, like, you know what I mean? It's like difficult. It's like a, we got to get used to it. Right. But even if she didn't support it, I don't think her daughter's the type to be like my mom. Actually, she just came around and supporting it. Obviously, she's going to say she supports it. But do I think she's supporting it? Yes. And like she said, my wife has been in my life for over a decade. Now, this is what Angela has said, as she is seeing a lot of, shout out to Angela and Charles Oakley. He was actually allowed back in Madison Square Garden to see the Knicks win. So that was funny well, not funny. It was nice to see it come to fruition, a full circle moment. Angela Oakley tweeted this. She said, if your adult child got married and didn't even tell you, would you be hurt? My daughter married a young woman I've loved for years, her childhood sweetheart. I felt it was her news to share with her siblings, not mine. Hell, she didn't even tell me. 23 was too young. And then she also said, I just read you what her daughter said. She quoted that and said, you're still my baby. I don't care. Yeah. So you can tell that's what Angela struggled with. And she talked about it last season. She was like, why wouldn't you tell me you got married? So this is her childhood sweetheart. This is someone she has known in her life forever. So that's not the issue. The issue is you got married 23 and you didn't tell me. And it's like, why didn't you tell me? So, I agree. It is Amari. I think her name's Amari, right? Amaria. I think it's her decision to disclose that to her siblings. Like, hey, I'm married. Also, she had a confessional. She's like, yeah, it's going to be interesting to tell my siblings, because it's not like, oh, you're just married. You're married to a woman. And it is different. It's different. I mean, should it be? No. But it's different. Should you have to come out if you like men or women? No. I don't have to come out because I like men. Like, you know what I mean? But it's like, especially in the Black community, a lot of people don't talk about it. It is a whole added layer. I think her siblings will be fine, though. If your mom's fine, all this stuff, your family's fine, you'll be fine. But people are alluding to Angela being homophobic because she hasn't shared that information with her other children. But I'm like, it's not her information to share. So why does that equal homophobia? It doesn't seem like she has an issue with the fact that she is it doesn't seem like she has a fact with an issue with the, oh my gosh, my mom and her sales, Bath and Body sales going on right now, you guys, semi-annual. I was just gonna place the order online, honestly, because I have a couple of stuff I want. Love Bath and Body. But yeah, I don't know. I don't like how, that's the issue with these social media folks. It's like, I don't know how that equates to her being homophobic. Like, I really don't. As I said, the ladies did rally around Angela. Pinky ends up having an 80s themed event. And yeah, apparently it went really good. And it was just nice to see all the ladies come together. Now, the scene I want to talk about is this Drew and Portia. I will remain that I genuinely think that Drew, why do I keep, because they're all mixed. It's not Drew and Portia, it's Portia and Dennis. I think Dennis will forever regret the fact that he let Portia go. I mean, she's a baddie, and she's gonna be like the baddest he's ever met. Hot tea, you guys. I was on TikTok over the weekend, and Dennis was on my TikTok, not in my DMs or nothing. This girl was posting she was on vacation, and the man she was cheersing with was Dennis. This girl, she looked Latino. Nothing on Portia. I'm just saying that she didn't look like a baddie at all. Dennis has moved on, and he was in Mexico over the past weekend on vacation with his bae. That's what the TikTok streets are saying. It's not even the streets are saying. I saw with my own two eyes. People in the comments are like, "Is that Dennis?" I'm like, "Wait a minute, that is Dennis." But he comes over to basically drop off the ring. Portia felt like it was a big F you. I just think Portia likes Dennis. I just think they're still screwing. I do. I really do. For that reaction, like, was it messy? Yes. Like, why are you giving me this ring on camera? I think maybe that's the other element. Why are you giving it back to me on camera? She said it's traumatizing AF. She said you could have given it to Pilar. Like, you didn't have to. I think her biggest thing is, why are you doing this on camera? Because she even turns to production and she's like, did you guys know he had a ring? The ring. You can tell she's still very triggered by it. Now, if I'm over something and someone's finally giving me back a ring, I don't know. I also think Dennis just likes to be on camera. I think he likes to be on camera, and I think he's still in love with Portia, and I think it kills him that he screwed it up, and her morals, she'll never allow herself to get back with him after he cheated on her multiple times, and then just like how toxic they were. She doesn't want that for Pilar, and I just think he knows that they will never get back together. So I think he tries anything. I think when he tries to film, and yeah, I really do think it's that. I genuinely do. But I do think there's still clearly love there for both of them. I really do. I want to talk about Rhode Island. I guess the most grand thing is like that cameras were picked back up. Obviously, this is going to be quite a quicker, because you know what? I really enjoyed Love Island. Love Island. I want to talk about Love Island. I really enjoyed Rhode Island. And I'm excited to really cover the reunion. It's only 2 parts. I think that's perfect. But it kind of, I'm not going to lie, it kind of got a little repetitive at the end with the whole, Rula's just the type of girl, if her man is cheating, if you catch him D down into someone, you can tell her, but she's not going to care. Clearly, she's just not going to care because the biggest thing from that whole season finale I got is that she's more so embarrassed as this is happening publicly. I feel like if he was cheating non-publicly, she would be fine. Other than that, I think the biggest thing perhaps from this whole situation was the fact that cameras did indeed go back up after he was arrested for DV. And I think another element to that is the fact that she didn't know filing that police report would be placed under domestic violence. She said she had got tipped off from from what Brian was saying, and then a couple of things just that seemed weird, that she suspected he had a tracker. She goes up to BMW. They were like, hey, we can't check that out for you. You're going to have to go to the police department. She goes to the police department. It's placed under, because in the state of Rhode Island, tracking, it's placed under DV. So everyone, when they saw that, they were like, there was an incident. There was an actual physical violent issue. She said there was no violent issue, and she didn't know that would be placed under that. Obviously, they're together now. But yeah, he had a tracker on her car. Why did he have a tracker on her car? Because he wanted to know where she was, so that he knew where he needed to be. Basically, if she's out, oh, she's not waiting on me at home. Oh, she's not going here. She's not going to try to sneak up. If I'm going to see my mistress, good. That's why he put a tracker on her car. I don't know why we're acting dense, like we don't know why he put a tracker on. She's acting like she don't know. She did say maybe he thought I was going to go to the address, and that is realistic. But he definitely put a tracker on so he would know where she was, so he was always a couple steps ahead. I genuinely believe that. Regardless, though, it was nice to see Liz and Joellen make up. Obviously it doesn't last, because I'm pretty sure it doesn't last. And I think it was really interesting. I watched Watch Drama's Live. Cynthia Bailey was on there, and so was Alicia. And I think it was really interesting who Alicia hung out with after the reunion. She hung out with Rosie and Kelsey. Like, isn't that interesting? Very interesting how the tides have turned. And Joellen was there. So I do think it was interesting that Kelsey was there, though, as well. Yeah. So and then she said who had the most mean girl energy at the reunion. It was Liz. So I don't know. Obviously they made up, but clearly it wasn't long lived. And then they filmed their final scene together. When the cameras came back up, Liz and Joellen filmed that scene together when it was like he was still out with the mistress. Another big thing, I really do like all the men. Typically, I don't like the men on these shows. I love how Joellen's man stands up for her. I think he's a real one. I didn't like how at the dinner everyone kept basically like ping-ponging it back to Joellen like she's the problem, when it's like it's literally Brian. A couple of takeaways from the dinner scene was Brian telling RHOA that it's good that she's putting her ego and pride aside. And she was like, ego, pride, Brian. Like, this man really is still out here cheating on you. And then the other thing is that he literally admitted to, is it Gary? And he's like, yeah, I feel bad that there is a video out there and I was dumb enough to get caught like that. Like, he literally admitted it. And it's a recent video. So I don't know. It was a really good season. I think towards the end, though, it kind of got annoying with the whole RHOA, Joellen, Brian thing, because it's like it's so clear he's still cheating on you, but you just don't care. You're one of those women that do turn a blind eye. And she said that in the after show. She was like, I don't like this whole assumption that I just turn a blind eye. I wasn't really sure about the whole Billy and Alicia thing, but Billy seems to like really genuinely love Alicia. I will say that. She does need to get her name on that house, because y'all been together for how long? He ends up re-proposing to her, and it's sweet. And it's like, I think they work because they both know each other's ticks. And it's like, she knows he's not a super romantic guy, and he knows she's a super romantic girl. So I think being able to really compromise and like do something for your partner is really nice, especially when we learn their original, proposal story, which is honestly beyond me. I'm like, not you proposing like that, like just putting a ring on a pile of clothes. Like, he didn't even get down on one foot, like, and she was 8 months pregnant. So it was just giving like shock, even though they never even got married. But I don't even think they're gonna get married, but some people are just fine with that. But she does need to get her name on that house. Predictions for the reunion. I think a lot of people are not gonna like Liz. But I like Liz, but I don't know if it's going to be well. Maybe she shouldn't smoke beforehand, because when she smokes and drinks, like, she kind of slurs or whatever. We know Dolores was not invited. I don't think she needed to be invited. I hope there's no bad blood. I appreciate seeing Dolores weave in and weave out, but that's that. interested to see what RHOA says. I'm interested the guys are coming out at the reunion. I think it's very necessary that Brian kind of clears up some timelines and stuff. I'm excited to see more receipts from Joellen, but then I'm kind of like, girl, keep the receipts to yourself. Because it's just like the girl doesn't care. She does not care about the receipts. She does not care. I'm interested to see if Alicia and Liz can get to any type of resolvement. It sounds like they don't based on Watch What Happens Live. Especially because it sounds like the aunts don't even talk to Liz. And that sucks. So it looks like the second season will definitely move into this whole contention thing between Liz and Alicia. And it looks like Joellen is really fighting for that friendship with Liz. It means a lot to her. It means a lot to her. Other than that, I do want to talk about Love Island USA and the UK. I've been watching both of them. Beatrice has went home. The realest girl in the villa. Kata's real, but she's in denial. Did I say that? Beatrice has went home. I don't regret my vote. I did vote for Gabriel and Jen just because I figured, I'm watching Love Island UK. The same similar thing kind of just happened. Like, they brought in bombshells to get to know the people that were possibly dumped. I just thought they're going to bring in bombshells, and Beatrice and like all the dump people were going to be able to go meet some new bombshells. I didn't think they were going to leave it to Corbin fucking Blue to select what girl he wanted. And even he was emotional. I think a lot of people liked Bia in that villa. Her and Gabriel's final conversation just about her being like her thanking him for treating her normal. I think we did not see a lot on there. In terms of the pie challenge, I think production is cutting a lot. And I'm sorry, I will make a TikTok about this when I look better. I'm not making a TikTok when I look like this. But I'm sorry, if I can watch Huda call Jeremiah a PA bitch on literal Love Island. I don't want to say the P word, but you guys can fill it in. On Love Island last season, why can't I watch them pie soul multiple times? And I don't even want to see that, but it just seemed like her breakdown came out of nowhere. And then we were learning, Bia is saying she got pied a lot and they cut out a lot. They're protecting Melanie a lot. There was this TikTok about how Melanie is like actually really toxic, and the Peacock official count was like there would be no Melanie slander. And I just feel like for them to specifically say Melanie, she's clearly being protected by production. She used to be a pretty little thing, plus size model. What does that have to do with anything? I don't know, but people are saying this is probably why she acts the way. I don't think it is. She looks fine regardless. Still serving face, still booked and busy. But yeah, I don't understand. It seems as though contentions in that villa got very stressed out because, Soul really had a breakdown. I really felt really bad for her. This was Friday's episode. I really felt bad for her Friday. Obviously, I just watched like the newer episode, and this whole Casey and Anaya thing, I think Casey's damned if he do, damned if he don't. If he wants to explore with Soul, there are going to be those colorism comments of like, you were never into her because she's dark skinned. When it's like, maybe they just don't have chemistry. And I feel like when we go back from the first episode, Anaya was standing behind Sincere's door. She wasn't even interested in Casey. So it's like, and then she also wanted to get to know Corbin. So it's like, it's unfair to me when I see Casey he is being restricted currently right now from his connections. And it is very unfair. I do think he should be able to explore with Soul. They literally brought in Soul for Casey and Anaya because apparently that's what the producers do, you guys. They bring in people that you possibly are interested in based on what you filled out. And apparently his ex looks just like her. So it's like, it would be remiss for him not to get to know her. I don't like how social media is turning this whole thing into Soul trying to steal people's men. She's a bombshell. It's what bombshells are supposed to do. But other than that, I don't see any clear connections besides between Kata and Zach. And even that's a little questionable because I'm like, Zach, you're doing a lot. And then obviously I do see a connection between Soul and Sincere, and I see a connection between Sincere and Melanie, but I think Sincere is not a good boyfriend. I don't think he's a bad person. I just think quite possibly he's the type, I want my cake and I need to eat it too. And I hate the saying because I'm like, why can't I eat my cake? Why wouldn't I want my cake, right? that aside, he's given the runaround. He's saying one thing to Mel, he's saying one thing to Soul. So I don't know. I want Casey to explore. Apparently, Love Island Casa Amor is possibly starting June 22nd. Is it early? I don't know. That's going to be the third week. I don't even think that's early. People are saying it's early, but the twist is that they're doing it in theaters. So select theaters are going to be showing Casa Amor. I think this group of people need Casa Amor the most because they are so afraid to explore. And it's honestly really annoying to watch. Like, normally you would at least tolerate a conversation. These people aren't even trying to tolerate a conversation. So I'm really excited to see who acts up in Casa Amor. I think a lot of people are a little too aware of what's going on. I think Anaya is very aware that she's not interested in anyone else, which, newsflash, apparently Sean and her had a connection, which I really never even saw. And Sean said he would love to like get to know her when she's out of the villa. I think Anaya's aware that there's like no one right there she's really getting to know. And so, because I'm pretty sure Sean was trying to get to know Trinity before he left too. But I'm like, since when were you trying to get to know Anaya? I don't know. I think Anaya is very aware that she's not interested, at least in anyone. No one's interested in her, so she's kind of tethering Casey. Is the insecurity coming out a little? Yes, but I hope it doesn't become a colors thing, because the thing is like, at the end of the day, I can't change the fact that she looks like my ex, and I actually do look when I get to know her. And I'm sorry, he was very corny when he was talking to Soul, so maybe Soul's not even going to be interested. I want a new person for Soul because Sincere ain't shit. And yeah, moving on to Love Island UK. That's my 2 cents on the USA. Moving on to Love Island UK. I know been a huge diversity conversation happening. It's almost as if they sent these 2 bombshells in, Victoria and Nambia, and because of that conversation happening, because these 2 girls are not anyone's types. But we also have Simba coming in, and I see some cracks forming. I just saw Opie go home. There was just this last couple episodes where it was like gender wars essentially. And I don't know, the men were very bothered by the women and the way they were reacting in the challenge or responding. I don't know. I think it was just like production, like, let's up the ante, because it was not that deep. And I feel like the men actually were like acting very annoying. And I was just like, y'all, you can't be mad that she keeps a list in her phone of who she slept with. And it's like, you can't even remember the girl you slept with. Love Island UK, though, has been delivering. Am I upset Opie's going home? No. He didn't really do it for me. He was kind of very corny to me. I don't like to rag on our black girls. I really don't. Nabia's pretty. I think all the black girls were pretty. Victoria's obviously went home. Angelista, though, I never really clicked with Mimi her last season. She didn't really do it for me. Angelista's not really doing it for me. She don't really move anything for me. She's kind of boring. And I'm just like, but it's like, it's like, I get it. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. If you're not a Whitney on Love Island or Ella, then you're kind of like a Mimi and you kind of just fade into the background. But she's very boring to me. I really like Jasmine. Yasmin, though, literally looks like a hybrid between Sabrina Carpenter and Hayden Panettiere. Cutest girl ever. I like all the girls. Besides, I think I liked Robin, and then she went home. I did like Robin. She was a ball of energy. In terms of the guys, Lorenzo is so genetically blessed, but he is always short circuiting because he's so used to women throwing themselves at him. I don't know. He is clearly short circuiting. He has no clue what is going on. It's actually hilarious to watch because I'm just like, boy, you have no clue what you want, like, at all. So yeah, it's hilarious to honestly watch. Other than that, I'm trying to think who else. Samraj is also someone that's very handsome, but I'm not liking him. I love Micah. I think she is so gorgeous. She's from Barbados. I think this season, obviously, there's always a diversity issue on Love Island UK, but they definitely try because there's 2, Indians on there. You have Micah from Barbados. They did have 3 black girls in, when I only think they only brought in the black women and then Simba because there was such a huge conversation about, okay, but where are the black people? Like, yes, we have all these other ethnicities, but where are the black individuals? So the Love Island UK will always fall flat for a lot of people, at least the US people, because we're just so used to diversity. Like, even if you're watching the After Sun, which I think Sierra and Telfi did a really good job hosting. Sierra's like, I actually got a kick out of Kenzie being the only blonde in the lineup. Like, the US, we're so culturally different. And when you go to the UK, it's very culturally different there too. So it's always shocking to me that they get all of these white bimbos. Well, not bimbos. I'm sorry, you guys aren't bimbos. But it's like you get the same type of girls on these Love Island UKs. It's like one formula, either the brunette or the blonde. So I'm really glad that they have, Jasmine on there. They had Angelista on there. And then they brought in Nabia and Victoria, and then even Priya being on there, and then even Samraj being like an OG and actually being loved. Because that's always been another thing, is like they'll put like an Asian on there or like an Indian, and they're not picked, they're not desired. And you have someone like Micah on there. So I will say Love Island UK is definitely trying in the diversity conversation, but I think it really sparked it, which is why they wanted to send in Victoria and Nambia, because it was a very big conversation. Like, okay, so we only have Angelista in here as a Black woman, right? And it's like you always do. They always get the token Black woman. But I don't know. I'm really enjoying the UK. It's keeping me fed. And I am ready to wrap up until the next Toxic Tuesday. I will see you guys very soon. Bye.